皆さんこんにちは。森ログ森高之の、物流羅針盤の時間です。今日はようこそ。今日は、ヨーロッパから、特別ゲストをお迎えしています。ヨーロッパ最大の物流団体であるアリスの事務局長の、フェルナンド・リーサさんです。それでは早速紹介させていただきます。その前にですね、この今日の会話は英語になりますので、ところどころで私が、フェルナンド・リーサさんの、言葉を要約して、お話を進めていきたいと思いますので、どうぞよろしくお願いいたします。Hi, Fernando. Thank you for your coming to my YouTube channel. The first, I heard that it's the first time for you to visiting Japan.
Yes.
How the impression of Japan?
Yeah, we arrived with my family at the end of March, and I've never been in Japan, and I arrived through Osaka actually, and I could enjoy the cherry blossom there. That was something that I have never seen, and it was perfect. And then we visited with the family different places like Nara or Hiroshima, or then Kyoto, coming back Fujimont, and actually I enjoyed very much to be immersed in the culture, get to know the heritage, the temples, all the culture, and really amazing experience so far. So very happy.
Yeah, so you enjoyed tours so much. Yeah.
Yes, the only issue is that it's too short to get to know as I wish.
フェルナンド・リースさんは今回は日本に初めて来るということで、ちょうど3月の末に来て、ちょうど桜の時期で、大変先ほど言ったように広島から大阪、長野を含めて、東京とたくさんのところ回られて非常に良かったというふうに言っております。その次にですね、皆さんアリスのことをよくご存じないと思うので、ちょっとアリスの紹介をしてもらいたいと思います。Could you explain briefly what is ALICE?
Oh, sure. ALICE stands for Alliance for Logistics Innovation through Collaboration in Europe. And this is essentially what is ALICE Alliance because there are more than 220 companies and organizations representing retailers, shippers, good manufacturers, logistics companies, transportation, ports, infrastructure, but also research. Then logistics, because we are focused on logistics and supply chain, particularly innovation. Our goal is really to support companies to transition to decarbonize logistics to be more competitive, digitize, and also embrace other innovations like the ones coming from innovation. And the collaboration is because we in ALICE believe that this transition cannot be done by individual companies. The systemic transition of transportation and logistics needs to be co-created, and then this collaboration is required to move the whole ecosystem, business ecosystem, in the same direction. And Europe is because so far our focus is in Europe. So this is in a nutshell. In Europe, we are 27 people now working in the secretariat of the association, and overall 1,000 experts for more 220 companies that are contributing to this.
3,000?
1,000 persons,
Okay.
from the different 220.
Okay, thank you very much. アリスというのは、Alliance for Logistic Innovation through Collaboration という、in Europe の略で、たくさんのことをちょっと説明していただいたんですけども、ヨーロッパにおける物流イノベーションのための、アライアンスということで、小売業者や商品メーカー、輸送、テクノロジー、研究、学術機関、そういったところを含めてですね、約1000人ぐらいで220以上の組織が集まるヨーロッパ最大の組織ということです。Thank you, Fernand. And the question is currently logistics in Japan is in a very difficult situation, that especially the shortage of the truck driver. So I'd like to ask you that the situation in Europe, is it something like same as Japan or different?
Mhm. No, it's actually quite the same. From Alice, we were impressed 7 years ago, the first visit or exchange with the Japanese situation on this logistics problem. In Europe, we see a shortage of drivers. International Road Union measure this shortage in the next few years to be several hundred thousands of driver shortage, but also a lot of pressure that is put on transportation and the cost driven by decarbonization are constraining capacity of transportation, and actually these are quite similar problems. I see in Europe we see these problems coming, but we are still not embracing the problem and the potential solutions as you are doing here in Japan. So that's how we are seeing the problem, but still not the solution.
So just say about how many driver shortage?
Yeah, the estimation in Europe is that in the next 5 years will be between 200 and 400,000 drivers required.
Yeah, okay, thank you. ヨーロッパ日本では皆さんご存知の通り、2024年問題から始まってトラックドライバーの不足、これが大きな社会問題になっています。でヨーロッパの状況どうですかっていうことをお聞きしたんですけども、彼の言うには基本的にヨーロッパも日本と同じようにトラックドライバーは随分不足しているということで、今後ますます不足するだろうと。でじゃあどのぐらい不足しているのっていう話をお聞きしましたところ、今後数年間の間に20万人から40万人ぐらいのドライバー不足が見込まれるということで、そういう意味ではヨーロッパも日本と同じようにやっぱり物流っていうのは非常に大きな社会問題であるというふうに捉えられているというようなことを言っております。Then next question, that I understand that ALICE's major role is to implement a physical internet in society with the EU. As I explained earlier, Japan is facing a logistic crisis, and we are trying to overcome this crisis by realizing the physical internet in Japan. So not only the private sector but also together with the government at the same target. So my question is, I'd like to ask you, how do Japan's government lead effort toward realizing the physical internet appear from how do you think about that? And my question is that the physical internet implemented is led by the government in Japan. So how do you think about that? The government led that this activity.
Yeah, in our case, what we think is that the logistics problem, it's transversal and it's very difficult to address that problem for a single company, or it's not so clear that the early movers can get the whole benefit of the transition and the innovations. So there is that why government lead in terms of supporting this transition. It's needed to ensure to keep the competitiveness and also resilience, and of course the transition needs to be embraced by industry and implemented by industry, but having the government back and support, it's essential for this transformation of logistics as we see is happening.
So I understand that in Europe that the ALICE is leading that implementing the physical internet. In Japan, of course, that the JPIC leading, but not only the JPIC, but also that the government role is very big, so important. So that is a little bit different between Europe and Japan. So this point, is it good for or not?
Yeah, from my point of view, the role of the government or the European Commission, in this case in Europe, is supporting the development of knowledge, of innovation, creating the framework conditions for the implementation of physical internet. But this is not steering the process. So we started with this more than 10 years ago, and now we are in a level in which we have proof of concepts, pilots, demonstrators in different areas, and this starting to be implemented. While I see in Japan, you started later, but with the push from the government, of the chief logistics officers, with all this support and push, you are advancing fast. And then, this is in a way creating a faster adoption roadmap and pathway.
Yeah, thank you. So, 今ちょっとなんですかね、日本はそのフィジカルインターネットの実現のために、JPIC もいろいろ努力はしてますけども、基本的にはその政府主導という面が強いと思うんですけどね。で、ヨーロッパはどちらかというと EU が、アリスが EU に託されて、EU コミッションに託されて、アリスが主導的にやってると。この政府の関与することについてどう思いますかっていうふうなことを聞いたんですけども、彼個人の見解としてですけども、日本は物流問題に積極的に取り組んで、日本の経済競争力と回復力を高めるためのより良い解決策を見出して、国民へのサービス水準を維持しながら輸送の外部性を削減しようということでやってると、それはそれなりに評価できるんではないかなというふうな、ちょっとやり方として日本とヨーロッパは若干の違いはありますけども、それはそれぞれのやり方かなっていう、違いはあるけれどもっていうふうなことですね。Okay, thank you very much. And next question that Japan government has created a physical internet roadmap. Alice, you also that created that one, and but this is in my opinion, this is a roadmap is a macro basis, So we don't have that evaluation system for the individual company, So this time that JPIC, we created that physical internet maturity model that we say that PINM. So how do you think of this evaluation system?
Yeah, I do believe it's an excellent initiative by Japan and creating a model to support companies to move from conceptualization to realization and to assess their maturity, but also to create a framework or a pathway for them to implement. This is something that has been started here in Japan, and I believe it can be extended to everywhere in the world because it's a very good tool to move and speed up the acceleration. It's somehow complementary to other initiatives. For example, in Europe we have the flagship project called Ikigai about physical internet that is looking into how to define and scale up innovations that are PI linked. And then I believe this PI innovations, maturity, readiness, or for a scale up together with the maturity of companies and also other initiatives that are looking into the framework conditions. So, for example, how much government is supporting with regulations, with policies, with incentives, the adoption of physical internet. These three models of maturity of different elements can create a very good framework and basis for speed up and accelerate the adoption of the physical internet. So congratulations for having this PIMM, and actually this is one of the main reasons also for me to come here to learn more about it and to exchange on it. So
Yeah, thank you very much. 今お聞きしたのは、例えば日本では政府が、フィジカルインターネットロードマップっていうのを作ってます。それから、アリスも同じように作っております。で、ただ、これはマクロベースですね、社会全体でフィジカルインターネットを導入したらどうなるかっていう、どうしようか浸透させるっていう意味なんですけども、ただ、今よく聞かれるのは、じゃあ個別の企業は何をやったらフィジカルインターネットを実現したことになるかっていう、この指標がないということで、この度、JPIC ではですね、4月から運用開始しますけれども、フィジカルインターネット成熟度モデルっていう5段階評価のですね、評価システムを作りました。それについて質問したんですけども、彼はPIMM、この評価制度は、大変いいアイデアじゃないかというふうに言っていただいています。でそのフィジカルインターネットを導入するにあたってはですね、イノベーションシステムにおいていくつかの、いろんなことを同時にやっぱりやっていく必要があるだろうという意味で言われています。それから彼らもアリスの中で生きがいプロジェクトっていいますかね、そういう大きなプロジェクトを進行中ですけども、そういう中でも同じような検討をしているというようなことです。あんまり時間がないんで、少しはしょってますけども、まだお聞きしたいことはたくさんあるんですけども、最後に一つだけ、皆さんやの日本の企業の方々へのですね、フィジカルインターネットに関してなんかアドバイスがないかっていうことをちょっと聞いてみたいと思います。Thank you, Fernand. And there are still many more questions, but we are running out of the time. So finally, I'd like to have ask you any advice for Japanese company not to limit that physical internet. Yeah, anything else? Do you have any advice?
Yeah. First of all, after these 10 days in Japan, I think after experience and see how things work here, I'm not sure I'm in the position to provide advice, maybe probably more in the position to learn. I feel very humble of what you are doing here in Japan. But still, as you are asking, I'll dare to try. And then I do believe that at least how we see things happening in Europe, but I think here is the same. There are different elements that are now happening. The first one is that everything dealing with energy transition, and what we see now with the things happening in Middle East, shortage of fuel and the dependency of our economies of fuel and transportation in particular, this is something that needs to be addressed, and the transition to run our transport and logistics through electric trucks, and also getting more energy, renewable energy as sources for transportation. It's a very important topic, and it's still connected to physical internet because we need to be much more efficient to leverage those type of vehicles in operations. Then additionally, what we see also happening at the same time is that digitalization and automation are advancing quite fast. And for example, in Europe, we are running a project called MURI on automation, road transportation, level 4 automation. And that could also be very helpful to address some externalities like the use of infrastructure. Imagine that we could transport goods at night with automated trucks. This would help decongesting our transportation infrastructure. And I know here in Japan, this project Autoflow, that I'm happy that I will be able to learn more. That will be very, very important that we are advancing in that area as well. So this crossroad of the energy transition, digitalization, and automation, and of course new technologies like artificial intelligence are calling for more standards, more operational frameworks linked to the physical internet. So we are in the crossroads of all these transitions, and in order to keep our economies competitive, resilient, and sovereign, we need to really address them. And then I encourage all the Japanese companies to look into the future and drive the future and create the future together. And I think initiatives like GIPIC are very important to create this collaboration framework together with the government.
Yeah, okay, thank you very much. たくさんのことを喋っていただいたんですけども、日本の来てですね、旅行を含めて10日余り、日本で滞在して、日本でいろんなことを学ぶことが多かったんで、アドバイスをするような立場にはないということなんですけど、あえて、言っていただきますと、3つを挙げていただきました。一つはエネルギーに関しての気候変動との関係で排出量を削減するということですね。これヨーロッパは非常にこれを重要視していますので、この輸送におけるCO2 の排出量をいかに削減するか、この辺が重要なポイントだということと、それから第2番目としてはデジタル化と自動化ですね。ここをやっぱり重要だというふうに言われています。特に日本でもオートフローロードっていうことで道路を自動的に貨物が走っていく、こういうシステムなんかも開発されていると聞いてますので、その辺も楽しみにしてますと。最後の第3番目には、e コマースとの関係ですね。返品管理を含めて製品が個人にどのように届くか、これを企業にとって重要なのはこうした変革が全て同時に起こっているという、こういうことを認識するということが大事だと。そのためこれからのイノベーションをビジネスに取り入れる方法を調査し理解する必要性が成功のための重要な要素になるだろうと、こういうふうな3つの点を挙げていただきました。Fernand, thank you. I think time is over already. So thank you for coming as a guest on Morilog today.
Thank you, and ありがとうございます。
それでは皆さん、今日はこの辺でお別れです。また次回をお楽しみに。